What's going on, grappling fans?
Último profissional depois que né, depois que mentally in the game.
Roberto's unique fight, all our matches have been pretty close.
Who's number one?
Hey, what's going on, grappling fans? Welcome back to another episode of Who's Number One. We've topped out over 40 episodes on this thing. The quarantine is kicking us into to high gear. 42, man.
Yeah.
And we have two very, very special guests, very accomplished, right up there with the GOATs joining us today. We have Marcus Buchecha Almeida and Felipe Pena. Felipe's not here yet, but we have Buchecha on the line. How's it going, man? How's your day been, Buchecha?
Hey, what's up, guys? I'm great. Still waiting for this all to be over. And can't wait to get back to the regular life. Huh?
That's all we all feel, I think. That's definitely the vibe here.
So last time we talked to you, you were in California. You said you went back to Brazil, huh?
Oh yeah. I chose to come back because I live by myself in California, so especially this time, it's not good to be by yourself without nothing to do. So at least here I have my friends, my family, and so that's why I decided to come back, especially because nothing going on, training or camp, so no reason to stay there for such a long time.
Was it difficult to go home? You know, I know that they are
mentally.
hold on. There we go. We're good. I know travel's kind of restricted and things like that. Was it tricky getting back to Brazil, or was it easy?
Yeah, that's a good point.
No, not really, because I had like some flights going on when I came, so I'm here for a couple weeks. So it was fine.
What were the airports like, though? Was immigration empty when you went back to Brazil? There was probably nobody traveling, huh?
Man, believe it or not, the airports are crowded.
Really? Wow, that's surprising.
Yeah.
You getting any surfing in down there? You got the beaches still open?
Yeah. Well, surf is still open, still okay.
Oh, it looks like we have Felipe on the call. What's up, Felipe?
How's it going?
What's up, guys? How are you?
He makes it.
Better late than never. Huh?
No,
2 minutes.
Buchecha, I had seen that they were closing like some beaches in Rio down and stuff. Down by you, can you still go surfing, or is that all good?
Yeah, because like of course they close the beaches, but I think there is no point because there is no contact. It's like an individual sport, so they close the beach more because like people don't get like on the sand and like hanging out on the beach, but on the water they don't complain. You know what I mean? So it's fine. Some beaches, some cities are really, really strict, so they ask you to get out. But some cities fine. Some other cities they are cool with that. They just don't want nobody hanging out on the beach. That's the thing. If you surf and leave, some places are fine.
Preguiça, what have you been up to since we saw you? Since last time you came out with Hamila, what have you been doing?
Pretty much the same, like working out. I'm lucky I have the gym in my parents' house, so working out. I went to the farm of my girlfriend as well, so stay out of the city. Was pretty nice. Stayed there for 3 weekends straight, and uploaded some videos for my students, doing live. Not much.
Felipe, have you picked up any new exercises or anything? We were talking to Bia Mosquita yesterday, and she's working with a Bulgarian bag. It's something new for her. Have you started trying anything new to keep yourself occupied, to do new things?
Yeah, I'm doing a training that called functional fight. It's quite popular here in Brazil. It's like a mix of exercise of jiu-jitsu, boxing, Thai, and physical exercise. So it's pretty good. Push a lot the conditioner, break the sweat, and I have been doing that for at least like 3-4 times a week.
What about you, Buchecha? You doing any physical conditioning while you're on quarantine, or what do you do anything to stay in shape, or?
I try to do like regular stuff because all the gyms are closed. So regular training, a lot of body weight, and training a little bit of boxing too. So that's, and when I can, I train with my one friend. We roll jiu-jitsu, one or two friends. That's what we're doing pretty much.
What something I found interesting. What else are you guys doing besides jiu-jitsu and working out? You guys watching Netflix? What are you guys doing to pass the time right now? Playing video games? What are you up to, Felipe?
I have been doing video game.
What video game you play?
Fortnite on PlayStation.
I would have never guessed. I would have never guessed that you play Fortnite. I thought you were gonna say FIFA for sure. I thought you were gonna say like FIFA or UFC.
I play online with some friends as well, so stay active. And COD. I actually was talking with some guys, even with Verdun. I did a live with Verdun yesterday, and he plays as well. So I think a lot of people is playing.
Talking Call of Duty?
Yes, yes, the Warzone.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people is downloading, a lot of people is playing. I just started this one like 2 days ago.
Are you any good at them? I used to play those with my brother, and I would just get killed every 5 seconds. It wasn't any fun for me.
I'm suck. Really bad. But I hope get a little better soon.
Yeah.
I do some kills, but very hard to win.
What about you, Buchecha? You got any new hobbies you're picking up over there or anything?
Not really. Trying to surf, trying to do like learning boxing and watching a lot of Netflix, like Money Heist. That's the one that I'm addicted now, and a couple other ones, but pretty much that's it.
So something that I think a lot of the viewers are interested in is, a lot of people, they train jiu-jitsu, they're white belts, blue belts, or whatever. They can't go to the gym right now, and people are trying to find out ways to improve their jiu-jitsu during this period where they can't train. Maybe if you guys have some advice for what people could do, whether it's solo drills or watching techniques. Like, what do you think, Felipe?
I think there is a lot of good things in the internet right now because no one can train and everyone's upload a lot of techniques, a lot of videos of physical training you can do at home. So definitely you can stay active. It's not the same thing you sparring and the train, but definitely you can improve a lot your technique, study, and stay in shape at the same time. So you still can improve a lot,
What about you, Marcus? You got any tips for people out there?
Marcos.
I think Preguiça said it all. That's a lot of options that you can do. Everything's online now. I myself, I do like some training all the time. Sometimes I watch like Chico Salgado, Rodrigo Ruiz lives. So they do like a pretty like cool training to do at home. So you can do it. When you first look at the training, you think, it's gonna be easy, I'm a fighter. But man, when you do it 20 minutes, 30 minutes,
it's hard.
You feel like it's really hard. So, and another thing that I realized when I had the knee surgery, of course, if you forget about jiu-jitsu, it's gonna be hard. But if you keep watching videos, studying jiu-jitsu, when you get back, your mind is still there. Of course, you're gonna be like without like timing and not a good cardio, but at least you're not gonna be like lost. So if you keep studying jiu-jitsu, keep watching like moves and keep active, watching like fights, it's better. If you just like forget about jiu-jitsu, when you get back to training, will be a little bit harder. But
Maybe
if you keep,
maybe they could go study that Marcus Buchecha folding pass instructional that you just released not long ago, right?
Yeah, folding pass, and now there's another one out, the takedown.
Oh, you got a takedown one?
System takedown.
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
A lot of people ask about my takedown, so we just did release one like 1 month ago.
Nice, yeah.
I forgot to post them. I'm posting tomorrow actually, so.
Learn how to take them down and then hit the pass, just like Buchecha.
That's it.
Yeah.
I need
Chase,
that.
you gotta get in there.
I need that in my game. More takedowns for sure. The light featherweight's coming for him.
Something I wanted to talk about you guys, something I'm really interested in hearing, the current day's world champions is, I I'd like to hear a little bit about who were the athletes when you guys were coming up, maybe when you were white belts, blue belts, whatever. Who were the people that you guys used to watch that really like inspired you, or like maybe sort of modeled your game off of? Like I know who Hamilo and Lepre were both saying Margarita. They really liked his knee slide, and they learned how to knee slide off of that, so it's pretty cool. So maybe Pergisa, if you want to kick it off, talking about who were some of your heroes when you were coming up when you were a color belt.
Yeah, I used to watch a lot Rominho, of course, Roger Gracie, back in the time because it was kind of like the same generation of Rominho, Jacaré, Galvão. I used to
Galvão.
watch a lot Galvão as well, yeah.
You
When I
sparred with
was-
Roger Gracie not long ago, right?
Yeah, I sparred with him end of the last year.
Was that your first time training together?
First time, yes.
What did he
First
What did he
time.
feel like? Yeah, a lot of people walk away from that and they have like they're kind of in awe. You know, he's been out of the game. He's not an active competitor, but they say he still is as amazing as his reputation. Did you come away feeling like that?
Yeah, it's very different training team, you know, very basic jiu-jitsu and very adjust, you know, a lot of adjust. And you see there is some details that not many people do, you know. There's actually like some you can say like some small secrets, you know, that I training a little with him. I got some details that really helped me a lot in my game. So was really nice, really good experience.
Felipe, you have a great guard. You have a great the way you chain together, sort of like the 50-50 with the X guard, single leg X guard. How did you develop that? Did you base that off of watching someone else, or did you just come up with it on your own throughout your years training, competing?
Was something about training. Was just training, you know, studying, doing some drills. It's not very old 50-50, you know. I don't remember exactly what year people start doing competition, but I remember was around my blue to brown to purple belt, something like that, you know. So was something that I think same as lapel guard was maybe 1 year ago, you know, something new and people need to study, and because I was competing very often, I was like forced to study and actually understand how to escape and how to attack, because if I don't do that, people was doing that a lot in competition, you know. So was normal, just training and competing and studying, doing drills.
How about you, Buchecha? Who were you when you were coming up? Who were some of the big names when you were blue or purple or whatever belt that you really looked up to?
I think pretty much like the same ones that Preguiça said. But my favorites was Leo Vieira, and Marcelo Garcia.
Yeah. Those are such exciting fighters, right? Like you never see a boring fight with either one of those guys.
No, yeah, the ones that I was like looking up to, I was like these ones, and of course Margarida too, Jacaré. I always like the style, Jacaré style, so was pretty much these ones.
It's interesting that you guys both listed a couple people. Well, Preguiça did at least a couple people that you've ended up fighting when you got to black belt. How did that feel when you get to black belt and all of a sudden you're fighting the guys who were already black belt world champs when you were, younger?
Yeah.
It's a. Pode falar.
No, vai lá.
It's a very it's very excited, you know, because when I was watching them in blue, purple, that looks so far to me, you know what I mean? I was pretty much focused on my tournaments and my opponents in blue, purple belt. They were like so far. But everything happens very fast, right? And I stay like 1 year in purple belt and 1 year in brown belt. So after like 2 years, I was fighting them already, you know. So was a really big pleasure fight with them, you know, because it was some someone that I always look for and stuff. But was really the first time. But after
É
you
mais.
start to look at them as the same as the guys that you were competing when you were a blue belt. Stay something normal.
For sure, for sure. I have a fan question here. You guys have both sort of already answered this one the other times you were on the show, but for people who didn't tune in, then it's from a guy in the YouTube comments. Alberto Lima asked us, which super fights would you guys like after the lockdown is over? If there is anyone.
For me to watch or to fight?
For you, like if there's anything, I know you don't. You usually just do Worlds and ADCC, but is there anything that you'd be looking for? Any competitions you'd be looking to do when this is all over with?
Yeah, I mean, everybody wants to see the show, but no one wants to pay, so it's hard. So they want us to do like a camp, 12 weeks camp. They want us to watch us killing each other, but nobody want to pay. So that's why I don't fight anymore.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. Yeah. So, but that's why like I haven't thinking about like super fights, because I think our sport depends of that. You know what I mean? And if we just fight, so that's why I decided just fight the tournaments. For me, must to have like sense to have like a super fight, and of course the money is like something that we are fighters, we are professionals, so we need the money. So that's why I don't sell myself like cheap and just fight when it's like really makes sense. But I don't pick fight. I don't pick opponents like. For sure, something that makes sense for me, and especially if it's a super fight, I just like to fight with people that I respect. So that means like the guys that talk a lot and think that's like gonna. See, if I don't respect the guy as a person, as a fighter, I don't like to fight.
Okay, fair enough. Felipe, I got an idea of what you're probably going to say, because I've been seeing you going back and forth a little bit with somebody on Instagram. What fight would you be looking forward to when things kick back up?
I think definitely this one that you said.
Which one? I don't know what you guys talking about.
It's Gordon Ryan.
Yeah,
The third
Oh, the third one.
It's I think would be a good fight with Gordon Ryan, because he just won the ADCC, 18-8, and he said he can beat me easy. That was lucky for me the last fights, and I truly believe I can beat him. So I think everyone wants to see that. And for me, I am good to go, like I explained the last time, he wants to only fight if it's a submission only match. And I'm not a submission only athlete. At the same time, he's not a gi fighter or IBJJF fighter, So I just want something in the middle. I rather fought the way he chose, so now doesn't make sense for me to fight again everything that he chose. I would fight something in the middle, something agree for both. And there is another guys that definitely would be the guys that is doing really good in competition. Like Kainan. Never fought Kainan. I respect him a lot. I think he's very good jiu-jitsu. I think would be a very interesting fight. I would like to fight Meregali again. All these guys that have been doing really good in competition and not being black belts for so many years. I think we're still gonna fight not once but a lot of times until for the next years. So
Yeah,
Kainan be a really good fight.
Kainan would be an interesting one because you won that weight. You won heavyweight, and then you went back down to Mayo Pasado. You won medium heavy, and then he won heavy. So yeah, that would be that would probably be the one if you're gonna do a gi fight.
Quite the same weight. And
yeah, I think you're planning on going back up to heavyweight anyways, right? I think you were saying that before this season was going to start.
I want to go to super heavy, but I want to see if I'm trying to work out and gain weight to be around the weight of super heavy, but I'm gaining some weight already. So if I am with 98, 99 kilos, I will go super heavy.
Wow. Super heavyweight.
That would be a
Felipe
big
Pena.
change. Yeah. Are you gonna go after the
If
absolute?
not,
Would that be part of the plan? Going up to super heavy.
That would be my main choice. But if it's on the time, I'm training a lot as well, and I'm a weight with 95 kilos, something like that. Like it's not the weight of super heavy. I will go heavy. But if I can choose and be on a good weight, I would prefer go super heavy.
Guys, I wanted to ask you, a big part of competing is, of course, the travel experience, being with your friends, and it's much more than just the time spent on the mats. And I wanted to ask you both if you had a particular tournament that was maybe your favorite or most memorable. It doesn't even have to be one that you won, although I'm sure that goes hand in hand. But one maybe where everything was just perfect, where your teammates also succeeded. Maybe it was your first event. Maybe it was your first time out of the country. But was there a tournament where it just sort of really blew your mind and how great the experience was?
I think, in my opinion, was the World Pro when they started back in the day, 2010, 2011. Was like a big pot, 30 grand for open weight, a nice belt. They started with all that. I think for me it was kind of like a game changer for the jiu-jitsu, but then they start changing a lot and they took out the open weight. So for me, in my opinion, took a lot of the prestigious away, because a lot of people want to see the open weight, right? Because I think that's the most exciting part of like a jiu-jitsu tournament. And the trip, and I remember back in the day, 2010, I was brown belt when I went for the first time fighting against like big names. It was like something, staying like a 5-star hotel was like something priceless with all the big names there. So I was brown belt at the time. For me, I think that was the first time that I won some dollars. So like, was something really exciting.
Yeah, it's, we talked about this with Bia a little bit yesterday. It's an experience going over there. I remember I never competed over there, but the first time going over there working, it's a whole different world going to one of those tournaments in Abu Dhabi compared to what we're used to. At everything, like the spectacle they put on. And
I mean, even as members of the press, you have like a little press box and an actual table. So sometimes we're on the ground at some of these other tournaments.
Yeah,
so
they got somebody waiting there at the airport for you with your name on a sign and everything. Yeah, it's a little bit different. Being in
that made us to feel really special, treating like a real like professional. So for me, I think was like one of the coolest things that the tournaments that I used to like a lot to go. But when they took off the open weight, I just stopped liking and stop going.
You think if they brought back that $30,000 open weight that we might see you over there in the World Pro, would you go back at it?
Yeah, I would fight.
There you go. That's pretty good.
You want to get some attention on that tournament?
AJP,
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, being honest, I think that's the best thing, because it's 6 minutes fight. It's a good money. The ref is like, back in the day, they like, hey, action. You don't see like a lot of like stalling like we see sometimes in IBJJF finals, because like we know, like sometimes we can even watch the fights because like me, Felipe, Leandro, we rather like talking crap against with each other instead of watching the fights, because it's like so boring. 10 minutes is nobody fights 10 minutes. Like Felipe was talking something that I agree with him. For me, I think makes no sense to fight like submission only, because nobody wants to fight a 40 or 50 minutes fight with nobody trying to like really
boring,
kill each other. Yeah, like I remember a couple fights like. Yeah, like the first time, like Felipe fought the rules, but like it can be too long. I remember one time like somebody fought like for 50 minutes. In the end, the guy like just like, okay, whatever, like, and finish. Because if you put like time and submission only rules, but with time, I think makes more sense. I would fight like that. I fight any rule, but like no time. I don't want to be like fighting for 1 hour. Imagine that.
Yeah.
And no one wants to see that.
No one wants to watch an hour
Yeah.
long
The same
match, I don't
thing.
think.
I remember Keenan and Gordon. They fought.
Yes,
I think the
yeah,
first
that's the
fought
fight.
I think it
like
was
1 hour,
51 minutes,
something
right?
like
Seven.
that.
It was like 70 minutes. I want to say it was long.
I want
Yeah.
to watch that match, but I watched like 10 minutes, and after that, I was like, man, I can't watch that. It's
Yeah,
and
like
Keenan
nobody
just
wants to
okay,
fight.
okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
like whatever.
Need
I'm
something
hungry.
exciting. They want to watch.
No, that's true. Gets one point, like it's just like nothing happening. Like after 1 hour, like nobody wants to see. Even the fighters. For me, fighting half hour against Gordon was horrible because like of course I knew he wouldn't score a point on me. I knew it would be really hard to score point on him. So the strategy was what like let's wait for the last minute and see what's happening. Of course it got out of my hands because I got the penalty, but like nobody go really to the kill or die when the fight's too long. You can't control. It's natural. You save your energy. You don't know how long you're gonna be there. So for me, I think I don't like submission only either. I mean the time, no time limit.
All right, Felipe. So Buchecha said he really liked the experience of going as a brown belt to Abu Dhabi. Was there a travel experience that you remember going to a tournament that you just really enjoyed it?
Yeah, this time, this back in the day, Abu Dhabi was really something special because, like Buchecha said, everything, the environment, the place is so different, of everything. They come with the driver to pick you a really good hotel, a lot of a pool, a gymnasium, and everything very big, a lot of crowd, and the prize money of the open weight, the best athletes. This is a really good experience, and it's still everything very good, but only this when they cut the open weight, actually take a lot of the best athletes and a lot of the right of the event. But it's still a very good event. And after that, I remember there is one event when me, Gabriel, and the Ed won. And I don't remember exactly what year it was, but was a really good feeling, because it's very hard, like 3 or 4 of the same team win. And that time we were so happy, we got our some money and we got the win. We did a really good fights and we went to the hotel. Everyone so happy and we went out and it was a really good energy there. And in Europeans 2016 was very special as well too, because I never closed out a tournament with Rominho, and on this one I closed out for the first time and was something that I really wanted. Always when I was blue, purple belt, I always wanted to close a tournament with Rominho, and we actually made it. We tried one time in the Worlds and the same weight class, and didn't work through. So the Europeans this year was special.
Guys, I want to ask you something, and it goes back.
I
Go
forgot,
ahead, Buchecha,
I forgot
sorry.
to say one thing. Sorry, I forgot to say too. The 2013 ADCC, when I had the chance to fight by the side of Leo, that was something like amazing for me because that's the guy that I growing up watching, and then I had to, of course, he's my master, and I remember fighting, and he was fighting in the next area. That was something priceless for me. Of course, his brother Ricardo Vieira fought as well. Lucas Leite, João Assis, he won. So I won. So it was like the first time that I fought in DCC and I got the title. For me, it was something really special.
Guys, I wanted to ask you, I was thinking about it when we were talking about no time limits and being very boring, some people stalling. Do you think jiu-jitsu is a offensive or attacking martial art or defensive? Because some of the rules, the longer matches, no time limits, it makes the game much more defensive. And then if you have a 6-minute match, it encourages action, stalling calls, etc. That makes it much more offensive. But if you had to say the true nature of jiu-jitsu, would you say it's an attacking martial art or a martial art made to defend yourself and get into a better position?
Supposed to be
I think
offensive, but nowadays it's defensive.
yeah,
100%. People don't fight to do the art. People fight to win. So that's the difference.
I
What do you
think
think?
depends a lot of the athlete as well. You know, some people
Oh
they
yeah, no,
fight
of course.
very defense, but some people they fight offense. But definitely the nature it's to find the submission. You know, so offense. But nowadays, I think depends a lot of the tournament as well. Like Buchecha said, like if it's 5, 6 minutes with the referee, with some rules and the referee to push you to attack, to push you to move, to fight, it's hard to stall, you know.
All right,
But
let's
depends of the rules.
let's talk. You guys have talked a lot about rules. Let's talk about what would be the ultimate rules, because you guys are two legends. You guys are two of the biggest names out. What would be the rules you guys would prefer for a tournament to have? You said we already know 5 to 6 minutes. What about advantages? Do you guys like advantages?
I think there is. I'm not saying that I don't like 10 minutes. I actually like 10 minutes because actually there is more time to prove, in my opinion, who has a better jiu-jitsu, you know, and time to disinvolve, you know, and actually do. But if change some rules, for example, lapel or 50-50, this type of position, if you stay there for, I don't know, maybe 1 minute, should go back, you know, or something like that. Or a lot of people is using to run out of the mats, you know. Like a lot of times you're in a really good position, you fall to be on the, how you say, como chama cinturada em inglês? Cinturada.
Seat belt, né?
Seat belt on the back, someone, and this someone is fighting, and go out of the mats and come back to the center and stand up. You know, that doesn't make sense. If it's on the seat belt or any position that you fight should be there, and you reach there, should go back on the middle on the same position. Do you know what I mean? So otherwise, it's the advantage, and all the fights, the guys running, and using the rule, and actually doesn't prove who has a better jiu-jitsu. Just prove who played the best rule. You know what I mean? This happens with me many times, and
What do you
I
guys
think
think
that
about?
would be a big change.
What do you guys think about push-out rules? You know, in wrestling, sometimes if a person plays on the edge of the mat, they can get pushed out, and that will be a score for their opponent. Do you think that that's something that could be implemented in jiu-jitsu?
I think so.
Then I don't know. Then a lot of fights will become like a sumo fight. You know, people trying to push each other, and then I think we're gonna. We used to be like that, but then they changed the rules. So people who don't want to fight are always gonna find a way to play with the rule. I think the rules are making the sport become like soft, because you don't force the opponent to fight. Like a lot of like Felipe said, you see a lot of fights like 90 minutes and a half on 50-50 or with the lapel, and it's clearly that people are using that just to stall and watching the clock to like, you know, a lot of fights, like especially the smaller guys, you know how it's gonna be the fight. They put together, and when it's like 1 minute or 30 seconds, you know, one guy will try to come up and the other guy will try like to fight like crazy to sweep, but then it's gonna be one advantage in the end. You know what I mean? So I think that's make no sense. And another thing, when the position is good, stop and get back to the same position, like ADCC.
Yeah.
So that is like no way.
I think it's two things. This, if the position is good, it's out of the edge, stop, go back to the center on the same position, and if both athletes pull guard at the same time, whoever go on top get 2 points, you know, because otherwise this is going to stop like people that both pull guard and stay there for a long time. No one wants to pass. Okay, if no one wants to pass, someone go on top, get 2 points, people will be very afraid to pull guard right away. People will exchange takedown or only gonna pull guard, you know, when This happens in ACBJJ, and
yeah.
get the fights more excited.
About the rule nowadays about the double pull, I think it's much better than before because like I see a lot of people being disqualified, but at the same time, the referee needs to be like you for real. But a lot of referees don't really want to get involved. They don't want to like disqualify when they should disqualify, and then becomes like a lot of politics and get back to all the drama there was before. So the rule is the rule; it needs to be applied. But not all the referees have the courage to do it. So that's then becomes hard because sometimes then people find the holes in the rules and start playing with that. But I think 2 points for who's coming up. I think the guy doesn't deserve because he didn't do anything. But if they stalling like they pull together like faster, they don't wait too long.
Or maybe
30 seconds.
1 point. Could be like 1 point, not 2 points, but 1 point. Could decide the fight, but if the guy sweep you, he wins. Something like that. It's more than advantage.
Yeah, I think they do the penalty and get back standing. So I think should back wherever like stop for stalling, stop the position instead of just like okay, you got the one advantage, one penalty, whatever. Stalling situation, you got the penalty and the fight gets back up. Stand up again. Don't wait for until like 1 penalty, 2 penalty, 3 penalties like. So I think for me, stalling penalties should be more aggressive than the other like penalties. That's my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, that's great stuff. Something I think people would be interested to hear. You guys are both, obviously black belt world champions multiple times, and you train with each other. You guys have won so much. What's it like training with each other? Maybe Preguiça or Marcus, you were about to talk. Buchecha, what's it like training with Preguiça?
We don't train. We don't train against each other. We fight. We kill each other. It's different.
Exactly.
That's not friendly.
That's the best answer.
Something.
That's always.
Hamilo and Braulio both said the same thing about Felipe. They said that they call it double dipping. They say if you do well against him in a round, he makes you go again with him. That he doesn't let you get away. Both of them are saying.
But I think all of us is like the same.
Yeah.
How about you, Felipe? What's it like training with a monster like Buchecha?
It's like he said, we try to take out our head off, It's like the same thing. Could be like friendly, we talk before, como fala, rir, velho? Caralho, meu inglês tá ruim.
Rival?
No, we left, not left. Como que é rir, Buchecha?
Smile, laugh.
We can talk before, left before, but when it's time, we go. It's like the final of the world, No one has to lose for one advantage. No one has to give up position, Last time we did a camp was like me, Buchecha, and Lo.
And Leandro.
After like 5 days, everyone got hurt, After we all
pulled the name out.
Yeah, because it was right after BJJ starts. We three have fights there, and we trained the first day of and all sore, and the next day after 5 days, man, Buchecha leg was hurt. My elbow was hurt, lower shoulder was hurt, and
after
we have the idea. I said, bro, let's train with some guys. Let's call the students. And I don't know if you remember, but we said, no, man, let's train only us three. We're gonna do one, and like that way we train like many rounds, only us three, like really hard training the whole day, So after a few days, you're like done.
Wait, so you guys just train with the three of you for multiple days in a row? No wonder everyone else died. That sounds intense, man.
No, yeah, I remember,
And
and after the roll was like the first thing that people say, me or him or Leandro was like, this one I won, one advantage. No, no, you
yeah,
didn't. Yeah, it was an advantage. I won. So every roll was like we counting the points, the advantage. So it was like fighting, but it was fun.
every row we argue. No man, was not advantage, was penalty,
Yeah,
was on this, and then Lo is the funny one, because
yeah, like
Lo he fights like crazy after, He said, "No man, you crazy. That was not. Ask him. That was not. That was not. That's okay, man. Okay." He
every
doesn't
time I
want
roll
us.
with him, is fight.
Shout out
Yeah.
to Buchecha's teammate, Jackson Souza's in the comments. He said a couple things. He said, I agree with Buchecha. I don't know what that was about. And he also said, good English, Pena. So Jackson Souza says, approves of your English, Felipe.
Not too good. Not too good. Long time without talk. It's getting bad.
So you guys mentioned Leandro. And I think I'd like to talk a little bit about Leandro, too. I've always been a huge fan of Leandro. We can't get him on the show, unfortunately. He doesn't speak English.
But he is coming on tomorrow.
He's coming on House Show speaking Portuguese.
We're debuting
yeah.
our
Yeah.
first ever Portuguese only show tomorrow, and Leandro's our first guest. So that's tomorrow at noon, I want to say.
So what is what were you going to say?
He's not like a really media guy, but in
Yeah.
Portuguese, he couldn't run away. Huh? You guys got
He set a trap.
Mandar
yeah.
salve aí pro,
It doesn't have excuse
Mandar
anymore.
Yeah, no, in Portuguese, Jackson Souza. That's the one guy that I like to train him too. We train with him a lot too. It's always like same deal. We kill each other. Abraço, direção.
So let's jump right into Lo. So what's it like training with Leandro? He's such a legend. We see when he competes how intense it is. What's Leandro like as a person and as a training partner?
He's like, in my opinion, really good competitor. As he train and as he compete, he count like every penalty, every advantage, everything, and sometimes you one advantage behind and looks like it's just one advantage, but it's a huge thing, when you fight with him. I think like me and Buchecha, we kind of like give up more the points and do one advantage is a small thing for us, We go and do with Lo like one advantage, he can handle that advantage for a long time, He can keep or 2 points. He can keep. He's like one of the smartest athletes that I ever saw train and compete, Really, really good competitor. And amazing jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
Like he do some positions that he gonna do, and he do the same thing, he gonna do and he does, He's like has a really some strong positions that he can do with anyone.
Did you guys notice his game change at all when he jumped up to heavyweight? He was a lighter weight player for a very long time in his career, and then he successfully moved up into the heavier ranks. Did you see or feel a difference in the way that he did his jiu-jitsu when he was doing that?
Nah, yeah, of course. Like Felipe said, I think he's like really smart and he figured out your game really fast. So it's hard for you to do the same position him twice because during the fight, during the training, he figured out what he has to do to stop your move, and it's really hard. Like he said, if one advantage, if you feel behind one advantage with him, then you start to expose yourself. Then he start like putting pressure and making his game, putting his game put on pressure, and it's really hard to train with him. If you do one mistake, the same thing with Preguiça. One mistake, if you do, like when we train against each other, we don't have space. I think a lot of times when I watch like younger guys, they do like a little small mistake and we pay the price for the trainer for the fight. So I think that's the thing. When you in this level, high level, we don't have time to do mistakes. And Leandro is one of those guys that he never do like mistakes. Of course, when something happens, maybe he got a point, but not because he did like a mistake. So that's the thing on him. Like Felipe said, he's one of the smartest guy that I ever trained and I ever fought.
So I actually last time you guys were on here, we actually I pulled up some of your own matches to watch. This time I was going to play some Leandro stuff, and we could watch some Leandro highlights together and talk about it if you guys don't mind. So I pulled up this thing. This is just a highlight of him from Brasileiro at like 2017 or something. If you want to cue that up, Kyle.
What are you guys thinking as you watch Leandro do his thing here?
Yeah, always intense.
It's like what you said about the change game. Leandro, I think he changed his game a lot, you know.
Look at that double leg right
Back
there. Yeah.
on that,
Yeah, that was a good
on
fight.
that, back on that time, he was doing double leg a lot, you know, with everyone, double leg, single leg.
Right here, the Nalati. You see that
Collar
handshake
drag.
with Nalati?
Man,
That was a good
Brasileiro
fight.
is one of the best tournament show fights ever, bro.
Brasileiro? Yeah, I worked it last year, man.
Yeah.
It's a different atmosphere, right? Like the environment there is awesome.
The crowd is crazy, you know. The crowd, the European is really a nice show, but Brasileiro, it's like people love to be there. People scream, you know, people scream your name, and people really want to watch that match. It's a different energy.
And then you got Leandro's a Paulista too, so he's probably got all his teammates and training partners there and everything.
Yes, exactly. The
Who's he
same
fo-
city.
Who's he got here? Who's that? Cardozo?
Renato?
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, Leandro doesn't compete. Leandro fights. That's the kind of that's the kind of guy that I stop to watch. Leandro, Preguiça, because I know it's gonna be like fight. They like a lot of guys like they fight too much playing with the rule you see like I like to see like that. I remember that final he and Albert was like something, man. I never have felt that in a place, the energy, the whole place, like watching the fight, that was something amazing, and they really fought.
Go to the next one. That's the next file I put up. Kyle, pull up the next file. Was
Is that Ebar came on?
It's Erberth versus Leandro from this tournament, the final. If you want to cue up the next.
but that's
right here.
Gigão, the guy. Yeah.
Man.
And man, he's the funniest guy ever. So it's always a good time with him.
Man, I bet. Oh man, they were probably going crazy for this one there.
Yeah, it was crowd.
Remember, like 15
Everyone
grand
was
on the
screaming.
pot for this fight.
He said 15 grand.
Yeah, because who win this fight would get the number one spot and get the IJJF. So that was the fight that one. No, like was a couple fights before, but not the one that. But of course, the fights decided a lot because Leandro was way behind, and when he won the open weight, he got right next to Eber. Then they fought in Curitiba, and then Leandro beat him and got the.
I remember that. Yeah, this was the year when they were both after that number one ranking. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
You guys have both fought Herbert before. What's it like fighting Herbert? You got to be ready for anything, huh?
Yeah, man. People think the guy is a tough guy, man. People don't realize, but he's really dangerous. You can get hurt really serious if you don't pay attention.
Yeah, exactly. It's very explosive and a lot of surprising submissions like wrist lock, this type of things that can hurt you even without tap, you know. I think I fought Herbert many times. A lot of times I fought him. Most of the times I got something hurt. Like small things, but something hurt every fight, you know.
That was classically.
I remember one in...
Go ahead. Sorry. Keep going.
I remember one in Abu Dhabi. I was fighting him. I was winning with the 50-50 on the bottle. And I was just with the hand here on the 50-50 controlling the collar. And from nowhere, bro, he just boom throw the upper body on top of my hand. I think he never did the submission, but he just saw, man, I'm gonna hurt him a little bit here. And then he go right away. And even if I want to step, I have no time. So hurt and go back. So
There was something Leandro just did a little bit ago that's classic Leandro was when Herbert was getting close to passing and Leandro stood up. Leandro's so good at that, right?
Yeah, man. If he never put himself in danger. If he see almost getting there, he finds a way to stand up or to get out, to find a way to get out of the situation.
And I think this is one of the reasons Leandro is so good. It's in high level, like Buchecha said, one small step behind change the fight, can cost you the fight. And Leandro knows exactly the positions and the dangers. When he's almost getting one step behind, he always fight, and go neutral, He never one step behind.
Yeah, I think that's something that is underrated about Leandro. People don't, everybody knows he's got heart. He fights so hard. He's a great passer, great guard. But his strategy, he's got a very underrated strategic mind because it's like he wins so many close matches over so many years at different weight classes, at lightweight, middleweight, medium heavy, heavyweight, for 5 years in a row or whatever. He's always, any close match he was getting in, like you guys said, if it's a one advantage match, Leandro is going to take it. He's got such great strategy, right?
No, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Here we go, standing back up. I can't even remember how this match ended.
It was, I think, it was the takedown. They got the good double leg, huh?
Yeah, I think it was 2 points, something like that.
Felipe, you think you'd ever go back and do Brasileiro again?
I want to, yeah. I want to compete the last years, but I remember I had some super fight or something very close, like 1 week before, 1 week after, that avoid me to do it. But I want to do it just for the crowd.
Yeah.
It's just for the energy, I want to do at least one more time.
Is it almost out like a semi-outdoor stadium? Is it hot in there, or what's the atmosphere like?
It's no air conditioner.
Yeah.
Right, Buchecha?
It's the real deal.
Definitely no air conditioner.
When you fight Brazil,
Buchecha,
the energy is
It's a good
different.
gymnasium, but
Buchecha, did you ever fight Brasileiro at black belt, Buchecha?
No. My last time that I fought was 2010 as brown belt.
Oh, okay.
I remember I fought Leandro, then I closed out the open weight with Cara de Sapato.
You fought Leandro as a brown belt at Brasileiro.
Yeah, semi-final, open
wow.
weight. And then I closed out with Cara de Sapato, my teammate. We fought a couple times, me and Leandro as brown belt, I think twice.
And he was skinny back then. That was skinny Leandro.
Man, I remember back in the day, they started paying a lot of tournaments, like 1,000 reais, 1,000, 2,000, maybe like 5,000. And back in the day, that's a lot of money. And man, I remember everybody stopped competing these tournaments because they knew Leandro would be there. Nobody wants to fight with the lightweight. So I remember Leandro got a lot of money these years because nobody wants to fight him. Even like tough guys, world champions, everybody was kind of like scared. Myself, I wasn't like, man, I don't want to fight this guy, so I wasn't going. So I remember every weekend he was winning like 2-3 grand, like every weekend. So that was funny.
What's it like? Obviously, you guys talked a lot about training again with him. Felipe, what's it like when you compete against Leandro?
I compete against Leandro was, you mean on training or tournament?
Tournament.
Tournament, last time I competed against him was 2012, I think, or 2013, something like that. no 2013 or 14. I compete him 2 times in Copa Podio and 1 time in Rio Open. So, but back in the day, like you said, his game changed. I think he still his guard changed. I think
Yeah.
more his guard. Back in the day, he used to do a lot of spider guard, when he was lighter, and now he's always changing his guard game. Now I think he's doing collar drag and lasso de la riva, but
Yeah.
it's the same that I told you. Like one advantage behind is a huge thing.
When he did when he used to do the spider guard on one side with the pant grip on the other side, that was I really used to love watching him hit that sweep. He would hit that thing on everybody.
Yes,
Yeah, no, that was.
he always do that. Was his trademark.
I think we got to be getting down somewhere near the end here now, but
But you see, that's why I don't like 10 minutes. It's a good fight, but it's still like a long time.
yeah.
What do you guys think
Even being a good.
about the belt tie thing? One idea we had when we were running Who's Number One, the event, was just leaving the belts off, because so many times the match is stopped because they have to retie the belts, and it adds minutes to the matches. What do you guys think about just leaving them off?
I
Yeah,
think
if like. Depends. You
I
can
think a
stop
lot of
like
course-
every. Oh, não, vai, mal.
Fala aí.
Não, fala aí.
Você tem preferência?
Fala aí.
Não, você é mais velho. Eu só falo.
Te foder.
Here we go. There's Leandro got in on a shot.
Hierarquia.
Fala aí,
I told
cara.
Buchecha, go Buchecha, you can talk. No, you can talk. No,
I'm gonna say, go ahead,
No,
Buchecha.
you can talk, and then I show. No, bro. You older than me, you go.
No, like, no, being honest. Ai, caralho,
Porra.
fala.
Tá foda. Tá bom. Vai lá, meu. Pode falar.
Vai falar. Então, I think if 1 time, 2 times, if you stop to tie the belt, okay. But if you stop like every 10 seconds, then it's bad, because the fight will stop all the time. But of course, sometimes you stop to tie the belt, it's one thing, but not like every 30 seconds, you know what I mean?
How good are Leandro's takedowns?
Yeah.
Because people would normally think Erberth have a lot better takedowns, but Leandro stood with him a lot here in this match. Leandro's got pretty good takedowns, huh?
Yeah, like Fabio Gurgel called his double leg the double leg, you know what I mean?
The bar double leg. What do you mean by that?
Like the standard,
Like-
or
Like
Like
fight of
the one
bar.
that you do. Yeah,
at a bar.
fight. Yeah,
like a street fight double leg.
yeah,
Exactly.
exactly. That's how Fabio Gurgel called his double leg, you know.
Oh man.
he had some
But
test
works,
runs.
man. But
Yeah.
works really
Works a
well.
lot, works a
He's
lot.
fat. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe Kyle. Maybe skip ahead like a minute or so. So when we get to near the end. There goes that. He tried to get that bar double leg. Bar double leg coming. Man, it works though.
Ebert is like works. No, that's not
Yeah,
his
works
fight,
a lot.
but he got a good one on Ebert. But I think it's another fight.
Nice X guard entry
But
there.
how is the score? Is 0-0 or?
I can't
of
tell
the
this.
sweep?
Now he got the sweep.
Yeah, nice X guard sweep. That was really similar to sweep that you do a lot, Felipe, with X guard with 2 pant grips.
Yeah, exactly. It's very similar. Leandro do this a lot as well in the single X. I see him sweep a lot of people with that.
Now he's got the underhook. I'm imagining he's going to knee slide here.
Yeah, I don't remember if he passed. I think he almost passed, right? And the time finish.
Got a minute
Something
and a
like
half left in the match. Herbert's got the lapel. But at this point, Leandro can chill out because he's up 2-0. He's got Herberth in a bad spot. If Herbert's not trying to escape, he can just hold him for a minute and a half and win anyways. Right there, he's
Yeah.
going to the knee slide. Here's a classic Leandro position. Look at that! Look at the ref. How excited! he got. Did we lose
Nice
Buchecha?
done.
We might have lost Buchecha.
Team
Yeah.
Buchecha.
Yeah, he'll call back in. All right, we can go ahead and probably kill that clip. I think that's about the end of it. Buchecha will call back in a second. So, Felipe, something that we want. Oh, there he is. There's Buchecha. So, you missed it, Marcus. After your thing went out, he ended up getting the guard pass. Leandro got the guard pass 150. But something I want to talk with you guys about is for competition. I think people really like getting in the mind of black belt world champions. I'd like to hear a little bit about how you guys prepare for big tournaments, and especially like not just training camps, but like the day of. What do you guys do on the day of to get your mind in the right place to go fight at a big tournament? Maybe Felipe, you can lead off.
My friend said, I hibernate because I like
Hibernate?
to hibernate, yeah, like a bear, going into the cave and stay there for 1 week. I like to before tournaments. I go to the hotel room, my room, and I just stay for like at least 2 days, sleeping a lot, eating a lot, relaxing, not meeting many people, stay more concentrate, and don't like to too much social. I like to stay more with me, focus, remember how much I train, how much I want that, remember probably who I want to fight, do a plan game, and stay more quiet. So that way I stay more on my zone.
So you like to hibernate? You like to go hide from everybody? You don't socialize? You just go in a hotel room and eat a bunch? You said?
Yeah, not with everyone. I stay with my friends, close friends, with my family. Can stay with, but I don't like to. I would not go to walk around in some place to do some tourist thing. If it's in a hotel with a lot of athletes, I would like to stay more with my teammates or Buchecha or Leandro. People that I'm close. I don't like to stay much with people that is not very close to me. You know what I mean? I don't like to do more. I like to stay more with me, stay with my head, to put my head on point for the tournament. Stay focused. That's the way I stay on the zone for the tournament.
Are you training up until the day of the tournament? When do you start tapering down or slowing down your physical activities?
I normally rest 1 day before tournament, but the week of the tournament I rather slow down a lot. I take a lot of the volume out. So if I'm competing Saturday, Friday I normally don't train, and Monday to Thursday I train like one session, less sparring, but still intense sparring. If I'm used to do like 6 sparring, for example, I do like 3 or 4. I do like half, but still intense, like with tough sparring, tough people, but less.
So let's say you get to the tournament. It's the day of. You got your gi on and everything. How do you prepare when you're getting ready to
Buchecha,
compete?
I think it is talking. I can't hear him. I think he's out audio
No audio for him?
Oh yeah, okay.
because he was talking. I can't hear.
Buchecha, we can't hear you, but our guy Kyle's working on that in the back. Give us a thumbs up if you can hear us. Oh, he's gone.
Yeah, they said he has to call back in. So
Okay.
so Felipe, let's say it's the day of the tournament. You're there. You got your gi on. It's time to get ready. What goes through your mind? What do you do to prepare? Is there a certain type of music you like to do? Do you always do the same warm up? How do you get ready when you're at the tournament? Tomorrow, our guests will be Buchecha and Preguiça, both of them. So
I think.
All right,
Continua sem, viu, Buchecha?
still can't hear him. Oh shit. Felipe, answer that question. I'll get to work with production on trying to figure that out.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll push through this. Buchecha, can you hear us?
I acho que ele tá, I think he can hear, but his audio is not working.
Okay. So yeah,
But,
Felipe, is there like a music you like or food you have to have the day of, that kind of thing?
Yeah, I normally wake up, eat the same breakfast I eat every day, nothing different, Lunch, pretty much the same thing at lunch, depending of the time of the fighting. I like to get on the gymnasium at least 1 hour before, to see the mat, see the environment, have a good warm up with no rush, change, do some drills before to warm up.
Hey,
listen
Buchecha. Hold on. Buchecha, try to unplug your headphones and go without headphones. Try that. Talk now? Yeah, I don't know. There's no audio. Shit.
Yeah, that's frustrating. Felipe, so you like to have kind of your normal routine, breakfast and lunch. What about after that first match? That's a pivotal time for many people, very important time. What kind of recovery do you have? Do you experience that adrenaline dump that many people talk about after their first match of the tournament?
Yeah, the first match is the one normally you get more tired, you don't fight very well. So it's when you get someone very tough on the first match, in my opinion, But after the first match, looks like you already got your body warm, you relax, you run, so you start fighting better the second and next, But on the day of the tournament, I stay very anxious and I just want to fight. Just want to fight and finish that soon I can. I stay more thinking, more putting my the zone on the 1 day before, 2 days before. And normally I don't lose much weight. I lose for the last words because I fought medium heavy. But normally I don't have to hydrate or anything like that after the first match. I just stay normal, drink water, Gatorade or BCAA, and waiting for the next match.
Hey, Buchecha, we can hear you now, I think.
Really?
Yeah,
Can you guys hear me?
we're back.
Yeah.
Finally.
So what were you trying to say before when we couldn't hear you?
Oh no, Felipe was saying that he slowed down in the last week. I think we remember we could see he training with Leandro Lo was like really light in the week of the Worlds. at Romulus gym we saw like was a really like light.
Very chill.
2 days before.
Yeah. Really light. We know.
No,
Lots of flow rolling with Leandro.
This day was funny, man. Because Leandro got there and they said, man, let's go 2 rounds. And it's done because we're going to compete on the next day. And then we went 2 rounds. And after the 2 rounds, I said, no, man, let's go at least one more.
You had to double dip. You had to hit him with a double
You
dip.
double dipped on him.
I think he won the second round. And I said, no, let's go at least one more. And then the third round, I did good, and then he said, no, man, let's go at least one more. I said, no, we already did 3, man, we're going to fight 2. And then he won. And I did again. I said, man, last one, please. You did good on this one. Let's go the last one. Last one. And then the last one, I did good. And then he called me again. And then Homer said, no, man, I can't see that anymore. Stop. You guys not going. I'm going to close the gym. And then he said, oh, man, fuck. So we did like 5 rounds. We're supposed to do 2, and he still wants to do 1 more. It's always like that when me, Buchecha, and you always say, okay, man, let's go another one. Whoever lose, call the other one. We never want to stop losing.
It sounds like you guys probably would have done even more than 5 if Romulo didn't kick you out eventually.
Oh, we would do like 8 or 9 for sure. We didn't want to. in the deep we don't want anymore, But here we want.
There's no choice.
Okay.
Buchecha, so while you were gone, Felipe was discussing how he gets ready for competitions. Oh, and now where'd he go?
Hello?
Yeah. So Felipe was talking how he gets ready for competitions. What do you do to get your mind right for competitions, to get in the right mindset to go out there and compete?
I mean, being honest, nowadays I like to keep busy. Ouch. Can you guys?
Yeah, we got you.
Tá com os cursos da live, Buchecha.
All right, so what do you like to do to get ready for competitions?
Oh,
I don't know what happened there.
I think his battery.
I think
It's
it.
done again.
Yeah.
All right. I think Buchecha and Pregisa, both of them. So if you want to think up something, if you have some jiu-jitsu or any type of related question for one of those guys for us to ask.
That isn't actually Michael talking.
Yeah,
that is.
Can you stop that ass up, please?
I think
We were playing the clip that was supposed to go out a little bit later in the show, but we'll hang tight on that one.
All right, yeah, I think Buchecha's battery just died, I'm pretty sure. So what else do we have here to talk about? Did we talk about biggest victory of their career yet?
We have not discussed that yet. No.
Felipe, what do you think was the biggest victory of your career?
You mean like title or opponent?
Just, it doesn't even have to be.
Just personal.
Yeah. Well, personally, what victory meant the most to you?
Definitely the open weight of the ADCC, because I always want to be an open weight champion, of ADCC and IJJF. So when I got on the ADCC, was something very big for me, especially with the bracket I have and how hard it was the tournament. The bracket was very special,
Buchecha, we got you back. Was it the battery? Did you run out of battery?
Sorry. Yeah.
No, don't worry about it. That happens all the time on this show. You have no idea how often people's batteries die while they're calling it.
Sorry.
Buchecha, you are blue belt on the live, okay? I give you one stripe after.
Man, it's like I'm stuck with that, man. Sorry.
All good. Don't worry about it. Well, Felipe, you can't talk. You were late for the show.
Yeah. What he's talking about?
2 minutes. I lost one stripe.
No, what I was saying about the tournament, right?
Yeah, about getting
the
ready
week.
for a tournament. What do you do to get ready?
Yeah, like Felipe said, I just like to stay around my good friends. So that's why even we hang out together, me, him, Leandro, of course, with my teammates. And man, being honest, like nowadays, I like to keep myself busy with something beside. I remember this week of the Worlds, I went to buy a car. You know what I mean? Because when to go to buy a car is like not something that you go there. Takes a while to keep busy and do all the. So I was doing this in the week of the Worlds to keep myself busy, to keep my mind away. And I remember I was talking to my sponsor. And he said, "No, don't buy it. If you buy, you're gonna relax. You're gonna be lazy. So keep hungry." So I bought. I remember Thursday, and I went to fight Saturday. So was something that helped me to keep my mind away. Otherwise, you get too stressed and just think about the tournament.
So we had yesterday. Our guest was Bia Mesquita, and we have this. Routine where the person who is on the day before gives a question for the people who are coming next day. So, Kyle, if you want to queue up we'll play the video here of Bia's question for you guys. She had one for both of you.
two big names in jiu-jitsu. I would ask Buchecha if he's gonna still looking for the 15, B15,
Yeah, great one.
for Worlds next. And for Pregisa, I would ask him how much he wanna fight ADCC again once he lost his last match in last ADCC, just like it happened to me. So I'm really looking up to fight ADCC again. Is one of the tournaments that I most want to compete. I don't know if just because I lost or if because I really love to compete on that tournament, but that would be my question for him, if he's really looking up, if it's one tournament that he enjoyed to compete, especially fighting a special mat against Drago Vaughn. That was really excited to watch. If he looking up to compete again and to get like the open class title again, or if it's just like one more regular tournament for him.
All right, so her questions were, she wants to know, Buchecha, if you're going to go for 15 world titles, and she wants to know, Felipe, if you're going to go after another ADCC absolute gold medal.
We'll kick it off with Buchecha.
Okay, man. Being honest, for me, my life, the hardest one for me is to keep myself motivated to fight, and that's the hardest thing because I got so many titles and it's something hard. That's the hardest part for me. And I remember, like I go to Brazil. I come to Brazil for New Year's or Christmas with family. And after we have like Carnival here, so that's the time that I hang out, I clear my mind, so I enjoy, I have a good time with my friends. And then after that, I have like the will to compete. So, okay, I had my vacation, and now I want to compete. Man, I was training so hard. I was in the second week. I was like prepared to do my 12-week camp, and then the coronavirus come. So... man, being honest, if you tell me like, oh, the world's gonna be in October, I'm not gonna fight. I don't feel I wanna fight at all. But maybe next year, I don't know. So it's something that I just feel lost because everything that it's happening right now, it's hard for you to make plans. It's hard for you to, when you don't have like a commitment, when I don't have a goal, it's hard for me to keep like focus. So I know the world's gonna be in June. I know when I have to train. I know how is everything gonna be. After that, I will be like vacation. I'll be traveling. I'll go to Europe, to wherever. So I know I plan my year. So now it's hard to say because like I don't even know when's gonna be the world. So right now, I don't know. I think maybe,
If anything,
maybe not. Maybe I will. I don't know.
so you're saying if anything, it would be 2021 if you're going to come back and do it. Like if they did Worlds in October or November, you wouldn't do that.
I think for me make no sense to fight. I think change the schedule is not really how I think things gonna work out. So I don't know.
Yeah.
It's hard to say right now, but it's hard to be out of the party as well. So it's something that I don't know.
So Felipe, are we going to see you at ADCC 2021?
Yes, for sure. I'm gonna fight 2021, and I think no one ever won 2 times, right?
No, nobody's ever won the absolute twice.
So it's a good thing to motivate as well, you know. Put the name in history to be the one. I know it's very hard. There is a lot of guys, you know. I'm gonna have to train a lot, but I definitely gonna try to do that.
All yours, bro. I'm done.
One teenage.
Depois
de
3 carnaval. No, I don't know.
I should say that, but I'm not sure. You know, I think he just sad because Corona before 2-3 months of the ADCC, he can't handle. You know, he's gonna start. Oh my God, man, what am I gonna do now? I'm gonna train. Leandro's training, Preguiça is training, my partner is training. Let's go, whatever. You know.
I don't know.
Hey guys, you guys know anything about? Let we talk about this, but you heard anything about the Worlds, if they planning to do end of the year or if they're gonna cancel? Because I saw a few guys saying maybe they're gonna cancel, you know, and they believe. Do you know anything?
I don't know. I mean, I think it's hard for anybody to make plans right now because nobody knows how long this is going to last, right? Like, I bet.
Yeah,
once
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
We haven't heard anything at all as far as like future dates. I think it's not really known at this time. We're all very hopeful that it comes back and that something goes down this year, but I haven't heard anything.
Yeah, I'd imagine once we have we know when this is going to be over, IBJJF will probably make a decision then. But so that means we have to get questions from you guys for tomorrow. We have 2 guests tomorrow, so I'll split them up. Maybe Buchecha, I'll let you give one to Galvao, and Felipe, you get one for JT Torres. Could be about anything. You could ask them what their favorite food is. You could ask them what tournament they want to win.
Come
You
on,
could,
man. Favorite food.
ask them whatever you want.
Okay, I got one for Galvão.
Yeah.
Of course, like we said before, Galvão is one of the guys that I grow up like when I started jiu-jitsu watching. And I remember last time I fought him, I said that I always was a big fan, and to fight him was like a big pleasure for me. And I lost to him before, then I beat him one time, so was always a tough guy, and always fan of his style. And for me, in my opinion, he's the most accomplished, the guy that won, like, I think most accomplishments for no gi. I think, my opinion, he's like the best no gi fighter. Like, and what's keep making him like to keep himself motivated after so many years? Because I remember when we were like me, Preguiça, we were like young, and he's still like grinding. Of course, I always want to fight him. No gi, but man, I never really like earned a spot, I mean, but what keeping him motivated, I mean, after so many years competing and winning so many titles, because that's for me is the hardest part, to keep myself motivated. That's what's my question for him.
It's a great one. It is a great question. I'll be interested to hear what you got to say. Felipe, you think of anything to ask JT Torres?
Yes.
What's his favorite meal?
What's his favorite food? Oh my god!
What's your question?
How many times JT won the DCC?
Two times,
right?
Two-time champion. Yeah.
I would like to ask him. I see JT has a really good wrestling, for ADCC. I would like to ask him how he thinks is important wrestling for ADCC. If he think there is another thing more important, and how he prepare, how many times he train wrestling week, if he train separate, how is his schedule for IDCC camp?
Awesome. Great question. So we just have a few minutes left. If maybe you guys both want to give a little message to your fans, a little parting message before we get out of here. Maybe Buchecha, kick it off.
Yeah. I would like to say today I was ready for like a lot of like drama and a lot of hard questions to be on, but today was really light, was really mellow, so I was prepared for like some, you know what I mean?
You always prepare for the worst.
Yeah,
Drama show.
yeah, like I was like no
That's
drama.
his mentality.
No, I mean. I thought something. No, drama.
He's right.
Like,
you always prepare for the worst,
Yeah, that's smart. Yeah. No,
you guys didn't put us in any spot today, so.
No, never with you, Buchecha. We don't want to do that.
No. I mean,
and me.
When Ricardo is on the show and Bear, he always talk like more crap, so it's always fun.
Those guys like to push the limit.
So yeah, exactly. So they like to push a lot. So you guys didn't push, so that was like different today. But yeah, I would like to say thank you guys very much for one more time for the invitation. It's always good to be on the show. And by the way, I like the name. We like the name of the show, right, Preguiça?
Yeah, of course.
and it's always a pleasure for me to be in the show. I hope to be here again. And I just like to say thank you all to watch, and everybody who support, everybody who's always cheering for us. So that's it.
All right, Preguiça.
Hey, thank you guys for the invite. Thank you, FloGrappling. Thanks, Buchecha, for the chat. And I hope everyone be safe, and hope we pass to that very soon to go back to the mats, training and competing. Thank you all who watch and everyone for the support.
Awesome, guys. Well, thank you so much for calling in. We had a great time chatting with you, keeping it light, keeping it mellow. And tomorrow we have a great show with Andre Galvao and JT Torres.
Yeah.
And a big weekender with Orlando Sanchez.
Orlando Sanchez.
Yeah,
You guys want drama? You gonna watch that one?
It's gonna be
yeah. Tell. This one I'm not gonna miss because I know Orlando gonna talk.
There you go. That's the endorsement we want.
Next week we got a big week. We got Gabby Garcia, we got Hulk, we got Drysdale, Lovato. Who am I leaving out? We got there's somebody else I'm leaving out. Craig Jones Tuesday. The old school show premiered today, which is they did Ricardo and Howell did a thing on Terra Ray. Go check that out, people. Howell's new show, that's if you speak Portuguese. There's a lot of people in the comments, Brazilians. If you speak Portuguese, we're debuting tomorrow, right? Tomorrow?
That's right. 2 p.m. Central Time and 4 p.m. in Rio or Sao Paulo is the name of. I don't know the name of the show.
Yeah,
it's in Portuguese.
There's gonna be it's our first Portuguese show, and your guys' friend Leandro Lo is the first guest. So everybody, if you speak Portuguese, tune in tomorrow and check out Hal interviewing Leandro in Portuguese. Saturday, we got Saturday Match Rewind. So, yeah, there's tons of live content coming. Thanks again, Buchecha and Preguiça, for calling in.
We'll see you guys next time.
Thank you, guys.
Valeu,
Can't wait to be back on the show. Valeu. Preguiça. Preguitauro.